Drew Armor back here at Supreme Course, Guntersville, Alabama, and again, it's play dates going on. June has become a huge month for preparation for high school basketball in the state of Alabama. And again, I'm with 97.7 The Zone Radio and Huntsville, Alabama, ESPN Radio, and pinch hitting for my great friend Bart Heisch, and we're here talking some high school ladies basketball. And it's Collinsville Panthers, the subject. And we got two young ladies that have joined us that are a big part of their team. They're going to be seniors and leaders on this team, and that's going to be Tyler Tatum and Riley Tiller. I want to make sure I pronounce it correctly. Young ladies, thank you for joining us. How are y'all?
Good, how are you? Good.
Well, and for both of you, I guess Tyler, I'll let you answer first. What's it like being a senior going into this year and being a leader on the squad?
Well, I feel like last year I had to fill the role as a leader because we were senior heavy the year before that, so I was really the older one. But it's kind of weird for me because I've been on varsity since 7th grade.
Oh, okay.
So senior year is kind of a big deal for me.
Absolutely. And Riley, what about you?
Yeah, well, last year was my first year to ever actually play on varsity. It's a big role to play, and especially with all the seniors we had before.
Well, and we were talking with the young ladies from Locust Fork, and they've got a lot of 7th and 8th graders on their team now. And I was telling them, I'm a mid-90s, 1994 Huntsville High graduate. So back in my day, there was hardly any middle school players, and I'm talking about men's or women's, that played up. Now that's really common. You see it a lot, in both for the ladies and the men's basketball program. For you, what was it like playing, and playing for that long? Because now you've had a long career for Collinsville.
It was so crazy for me. I actually started my 7th and 8th grade year at Sylvania.
Oh, okay, so you transferred. Gotcha.
Yes, I started there, and it was weird because all the way up until 6th grade, I was a post player because I was the biggest one in the team,
Right.
And then 7th grade, I was the smallest one on the team, so I had to go start playing guard. And now I'm a point guard, so.
But it probably helped your career, though, because it helped your skill set, I would think.
It really did. Now I have 5 offers to play college basketball.
So you haven't made your decision yet, but you're going to be able to play on the next level. So congratulations with all the work there.
Thank you.
And I guess for you first, what's the expectations? I guess what's the most important thing in June for this group to develop at Collinsville, and for you guys to make a run potentially to get to Birmingham and play for a state championship?
We're really going to have to develop some skills because we have a lot of younger players that really need to fill some big roles this year that they're not used to.
For our viewers, maybe that haven't seen y'all play, who are some of those that you think really need to develop?
The players?
Yes.
Well, Gracie Driggs is one. She played with us last year. She actually started, but last year her main role was getting rebounds, setting screens, stuff like that. And then this year we're actually going to have her to go get buckets sometimes.
Score. Right.
Yes, she's going to have to do a score.
And Riley, what about you? What do you envision your role as a senior being on this Collinsville Panthers late squad this year?
I got to be the shooter this year, and I got to do more than shoot. I got to learn how to drive and get to the goal better because I've been mostly shooting, but
so you've mostly been a stationary shooter?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's a valuable skill, though. But again, you want to, of course, kind of expand that toolbox. So for you as a leader, what's the most important thing for you? Are you a vocal leader, or how do you lead?
I guess by encouraging the others.
Well, I mean, there's different kinds of leadership. There's leadership by example, being on time, things of that nature, and then of course there's being vocal. And what about you, Tyler? What's your leadership style?
I feel like kind of all of the above, but I am kind of loud sometimes. I get on them a little bit. I don't mean to, but just happens. Riley leads more by her actions.
Right. And you young ladies are both seniors. How many seniors do you have on your squad this year?
4 this year.
So you have a couple more seniors. So you have a little bit more experience. And how much better do you think this team can get in June as far as y'all 4 seniors helping these young ladies develop?
I think June is the most important time for basketball because I really feel like it helps us so much.
And we'll really have to work in the off season too because that'll help us grow more.
And speaking of that, Riley, how many, we were talking with Locust Fork earlier, they have several young ladies that play multiple sports, and they don't have a lot of their teammates throughout the process of the summer. After June, they won't see them. What about Collinsville? Is there a lot of, on your squad, is there a lot of young ladies that play multiple sports?
Yes, Tyler plays softball and basketball. I play all three, volleyball, basketball, and softball. And then we have another one that plays all three, and then one that plays soccer.
So how do y'all balance that? Of course, you want to develop as much as you can in the basketball court, but you want to also enjoy your high school experience playing multiple sports. As far as you, Riley, how do you balance that as a three-sport athlete?
Whenever we're in one sport, I always try to work on the other sports as well. But a little bit, like 15 minutes in the gym during volleyball season. And then during softball season, I'll try and go to the gym and bump a little bit for volleyball season coming up.
And Tyler, we've talked to several coaches, and a lot of times the key is the coaches from the other sports working together, and there's a lot of camaraderie when the young ladies play multiple sports. How is it at Collinsville? How is the communication? Because that was the key. Logan Fort was talking about communicating with their teammates. How is it with playing multiple sports at Collinsville High School?
What do you mean, like with the coaches or with?
Yeah, with the coaches and your teammates, but especially the coaches, because it's key with the coaches to communicate with each other and help each other out when you've got young ladies that play more than one sport.
Well, we have some really great coaching staff at Collinsville. Like, we do summer workouts at 6 a.m. every morning, and like we have the volleyball coach, the softball coach, and the basketball coach all there together. So we kind of all work together for that instead of having to do two separate workouts for things, And it's kind of hard for me, like, because basketball is my main sport,
Right.
And like that kind of pushes me away from other sports sometimes. So like I'll go to softball practice, and then right after softball practice, I'll leave and go straight to the gym. Or like sometimes I have to miss softball games for travel basketball,
Right.
So it's really, really difficult, but.
Well, and Riley, I know you talked about needing to improve your ball handling and your dribble drive.
Mm-hmm.
Is there another aspect of your game that you want to improve before practice starts and you guys get cranked up in November?
It's getting more shots up, yeah. Even though, I think I have a good shot. Sometimes I don't, but I can still work on it to make it better.
Consistency.
Yeah.
And then what about you?
I'm trying to work on getting my dribble lower, because sometimes when I get tired, my dribble gets higher and higher, and that's because it's different for me playing point guard, because I've never really been a point guard. I've always just been a shooting guard, and we graduated heavily, so.
And finally, last question for both of you. It's kind of a loaded question, but what are your expectations, first Tyler, for you for Collinsville basketball, the Lady Panthers this year? I mean, how do you envision the season going? How do you hope it goes?
Well, we won state 2 years ago, and I would absolutely love to do that again before I graduate. But we got a long road ahead of us if we're gonna fill that role,
And Raleigh?
Well, after we had the big group graduate, we always said prove them wrong, because everyone thought that since there was so many that graduated and they were all key players, that we weren't going to be that good. And then we ended up making it to the regional.
Won area last year.
We won area, and then we made it to the
regional
sub-region.
Yeah. Well, again, you guys won the state 2 years ago. I know Collinsville's got a really good ladies program. We appreciate y'all for coming to Supreme Course and competing here in Guntersville. Continued success today and, of course, the rest of the summer. Everybody stay healthy. And I know it's going to be, hopefully, a great season for y'all, but we appreciate you for joining us for a few minutes here in Guntersville. Thank you.
Thank you
for having us.
Thank y'all.